Good morning, Irvine. Well, I'm going through that midlife crisis, what they call HOA Hell. It's been interesting so far. So, if you watched last episode, my Tesla got towed because I was quote unquote in a fire lane, and the exact write-up was blocking garages and reason for removal fire lane. So one, I checked all my neighbors, surrounding neighbors, and I do live in a detached single family home, and under official classification that is considered a detached condo because it's less than 4,500 square feet. So with that being said, but it's still a single family home, it's detached, meaning that there's no common walls that you're sharing with another neighbor. I checked with all my neighbors, and I wasn't blocking anyone. Now, the only person I was blocking was myself, because I have this mini driveway, and my car was parked parallel to my garage. It wasn't in a face going into it, because I have a 2-car garage. So you can imagine there's this little platform that you can almost fit one car parallel to the garage with it. So anyway, so they towed my car, and this week I've just been gathering information. I've been speaking to fire marshals, police again, due to the fact that they did remove private property off of assets off of my private property. So we talked about that a little bit, but it just, here's the struggle. Is HOA really worth the headache? I get the reason why we should have an HOA. We want the uniformity. We want the group type of atmosphere that we're forming a community of our own, and it has rules and regulations, and there's a standard. Let's not call them rules and regulations. There's a standard that we want to apply to our community, so that our community doesn't get too off the charter, getting two unique individuals. Last thing anyone really wants, there are individuals out there. Very low percentage of us want a community with one unique house, whatever that might be, and that could be offensive for a lot of the other community members, neighbors. But anyways, HOA is supposed to be a good thing. And here I am, being in my residence for almost 15 years now, since day one that the community has developed, my community has been built. This is the first time anything like that has happened to me. Now, with that being said, I don't traditionally get very involved with the HOA or just overall the community, other than the events. I'm a participant. And I traditionally just follow along what they kind of issue out. But this time, I feel like it's a little bit different now. It's a little bit different because I'm getting to a stage where, as I attend just the last HOA meeting, they are absolutely bonkers. What I mean by that is, for one example, one of our relationships, our home association vendors, the primary one that helps us with organizing the community, keeping track day to day for say. So we hired this third party to help us with that. And for the past 15 years, through the evolution of things, there's been consolidation, meaning that original company got purchased by another company. But at the end of the day, they're still the same company. 15 years. I get it sometimes in business relationships that there are relationships that goes for a very long tenure. But with all the shenanigans, events that's happening with regards to individuals' cars getting towed, certain assets around the recreational area can't be reconciled, can't be accounted for, funds diverted to various places are in question, maybe it's time for us to reconsider another vendor to help us. No doubts, we're going to need help, but we should really consider another vendor to really help us out. So I don't know. Maybe we should seek another vendor to really just help us out. Even the most important seat in America, our president, he only gets an 8-year term, not a 15-year term. But here we are in a 15-year relationship with a lot of things are in question. Now, should we just go cold turkey and switch vendors without any additional evaluation or assessment? Absolutely not. And should the current be included in part of that assessment and as in comparison? Absolutely. But what I would say to you is that it's time to open up that door for consideration and assessment of another vendor. And here's let's get back to the HOA. This topic, from what I understand from that one single session, has been addressed for more than 6 months now. 6 months. And they meet monthly with constant communication. So 6 months plus constant communication. And they are still stating that if there's a possibility, they're going to kick that decision down the road for another 9 months. So we are in May here in California, or at least in Southern California. We're still somewhat locked into our home with really minimal things to do. You know what? Let me rephrase that, because that's not fair. There are some workers, there are some individuals out there staying at home, working from home is actually more hectic than going to a job, for whatever balancing is. So let's be fair about that. But whatever it is, they want to kick a decision that's been noodling around for 6 months and still want to kick it down the road for another 9 months. That will put us into 2021. I think that's a little bit extreme. I think that I do believe that that's a little bit on the extreme side, and we really need to refocus our priorities. I think the exact statement was, depending on the priority or the importance of the event that's happening. Your homeowners, including myself, are questioning the company is helping us because they don't seem to be very effective with what they're doing. Isn't that enough of a voice? Forget the monetary means where we're actually giving money to the contributing money towards the organization for us to have a beautiful community or uniformity. We're asking for these things. It's time. It's time for the association and that board to really consider and listen to our voice. 9 months down the road for a community of 400, it's not acceptable. It's not really within reason. Then there's a second part, which I really feel it really hits me personally. Maybe not currently this time around, but it has encountered me. It has interrupted me before. As of Friday, August the 8th at 6:30 a.m., the unemployment rate in the United States has hit 14%. 14%. And over 30 million Americans are unemployed at this point. Now, I have been very fortunate that I haven't been impacted directly yet. And unfortunately, with the community of 400, there are individuals that are out there that has been affected. And in this economy, in this state, the HOA still feel like they have to raise dues. that I struggle with that. I think timing is extremely poor, and that's something that the HOA really need to reassess. I get it, you want a beautiful garden. I get it, we want the same color. I get it, we want some consistency. But maybe not right at this time, right at this moment. Granted that the increase is minimal, not a large delta. Listen, yes, I live in a fairly predominant neighborhood, and we're very fortunate. No matter what it is, people are still going through everyday struggles, and we have to be considerate of that as a community. And if the homeowners are voicing that, hey, yes, there will be always voices that going to be challenging that certain events shouldn't happen. There's always going to be someone that's going to say no, right? But considering the timing and the events around the world, I think that we should really listen to their voices even more than before. So it leads back to the original statement, HOA. I jokingly on the forum said, maybe I should get involved. And I will always say that I have the excuse. It's a poor excuse. It's a very poor excuse. And I stated on the forum, I'm guilty of it. Not having enough time between family, work, to balance off in a community forum. And here I am I'm complaining, right? But at the same time, I'm voicing my opinion of what's happening. And I'm trying my best to stay subjective, per se. But it's very challenging because it's just, my observation is that I think there are 5 board members in total. And some of these board members has been on the board since day one. And I really appreciate the efforts that you have put into it. Because it is a thankless job. You don't get paid. You don't truly get any recognition, but you get every tomatoes and stones and rocks thrown at you. So hats off to your your efforts and everything that you've done for the community. It hasn't gone unnoticed, at least with me. So I truly, from my family, myself, I thank you for that. But with all that being said, though, there are things that we have to do better. It's not that we could do better. We have to do better, because some of the decisions that's being made at this point in time, it's just not. It's not the right time. That minimum increase. Come on, guys. Think about it. There are families out there that are just struggling. We have we all know we are neighbors. We have a good sense of idea of who lives in our neighborhood. There are a reasonable amount of senior citizens out there that they are on a fixed income, and on the board it possibly could be you. So while that being said, please just hear our voices, listen more, and just listen more. That's all. I think if anything you can take away from this vlog is that please listen more. That's all we're pleading with you. Just listen to us and stay respectful. There's no need to cut anyone off. Just please. That's all I ask. So with that being said, stay tuned, because they will listen to my challenge next month, because I didn't make it on the agenda this month. I know some of you watching, some of the people that subscribe to my channel, they're saying this is silly. It's just HOA. You gotta make. Yeah, there's a formal process. That's what it takes. Even though it's a community of 400 units, there is a formal process. So stay tuned, please. There'll be other content coming up. Till then, peace out. Please stay safe. Take care.